Struggling to integrate AI into your workflow? I've got some tips that might help. Hey, it's Jacob. Welcome to this video, and today I want to talk about AI integration. I'm going to give you a few examples because there are like a lot of misconceptions about like how to integrate AI. And the first one is believing that AI is a magic bullet. Like that AI can solve all your problems, and that that's like the two extremes are like AI is either like useless or it's magic, right? Useless or magic. Those are the two extreme, right? And the problem with that is most people that they're gonna like when you don't know about AI, you're gonna probably think, okay, well, let's see if it's magic then, because people are gonna either think one of those two things, and then because it doesn't work like that, then they're gonna say, okay, well, this is not that, right? So it must be useless. When in fact it's not how the world works. For anything, any tool that ever existed, it's never worked like that. It's always something in the middle, meaning that it's not magic, but it's not useless either. There are use cases where that could work, and use cases for you that are probably extremely useful. It's just that you need there is some type of a learning curve in order to know how you can use large language models, for example, very effectively. I'm going to give you a few examples here, but the first thing is if you really want to extract the full value of a large language model, you need to understand what a large language model is good at. So let me clear that up and let me give you an actual example. This is not necessarily what you're going to want to do, but this is just so you understand my point. This is just to illustrate my point. So let's say you want to create like a tax AI, right? So basically an AI that is going to do your taxes, right? And so the first thing that might come to mind if you have the mindset of like, okay, well, the AI should be able to handle it, right? The large language model that I'm choosing should be able to handle it. If that's what you are thinking, then it leads to prompt crafting. You're going to work on a prompt that is going to output your taxes. And it's like, well, the entire thing, like the entire taxes, and then all you have to do is basically copy and paste that in the right field, and then it's done, right? If that's what you're thinking, then we're not there yet. Like, it's not how AI work, and you're never gonna get there. At least with the current state of how the technology is and how the large language models are set up today, right? Because that's not necessarily how it works. The large language models are not good at certain things. And in this specific example, calculation is the problem. Is one of the problem, right? Like, I don't know that much about like taxes and stuff, so I don't know. But I know that it involves calculating stuff like your expenses and other things, right? And well, if you are setting up an AI so that you are doing your taxes, I mean, you let it do your taxes, then it's going to be a problem to use it for calculation because it's not really good at doing that. And the thing is, there are tools that are extremely powerful to do some calculation. And basically, those tools are like old school, like I don't know how you want to call it, but yeah, let's just call it code, right? Just basic code. Let's say Python or whatever. Python code is very effective at doing calculation extremely reliably. Like in fact, it never fails. Like, you can just put the correct equations and then it's gonna make them work, right? But you need to understand where to break down the prompt and then when to move on and when to integrate the Python part that is gonna do the calculation in order for this thing to work well, right? Here is the Python, and then this, at the end of it, you will have something like that. Now, of course, it's more complicated than that, and there are other things. I'm not saying that you need to do your taxes with an AI and automate that part with that, but it is an example of misunderstanding how an AI works. And if you don't understand that, then you're going to lead. This is going to be extremely demotivating in the sense that you're going to keep doing things like that. Like, okay, well, I need to find the right prompt, and maybe you're persistent with it, right? Which is the worst case scenario, because you're going to keep on working for like to find a solution for something, but it's just you're not gonna get there because it's not the right tool. The large language models are not the right tool. So you need to find other tools, and basically the game, let me put it like that. The game is to find to play around with the AI tools in order to build what you want to do, right? Like whatever the tool might be. And there are three main tools basically. The first one is large language models. They are a tool, right? The second one is, let's say, code, basic code, heuristic code, call it whatever you want, programming, whatever it is, right? Like if you're using a programming language, basically like Python, and without like any large language model. And the third one is, like, I would say, let's just call it like a neural network, right? That could be like basically anything related to machine learning algorithm. Today, neural network are just the ones that everybody uses, so that's the one. That's why I'm using these, right? Those are the tools that you have to play around with. And if something doesn't work, and it's probably not going to work if you have an idea for a tool, then you choose like which one is the best use case, the best tool for my specific use case. Is it the neural network because I have a lot of labeled data, so that would be very simple for a neural net to make it work. Is it code because it's just something that is programmatically easy to do? Like, for example, if you need to like generate a random thing, well, asking a large language model to produce like a random number or something, it's gonna do kind of it's gonna do it, like it's gonna give you the output, but it's way better and way simpler and way cheaper, by the way. I mean, just free, right? If you're doing it with a code, right? Because programmatically, because it's just free. So there, it's really, or if you were like doing any type of sorting algorithm, like if you need to sort things based on, like, I don't know, the biggest to the smallest, or vice versa, like doesn't matter, any sorting algorithm, well, don't use a large language model to do that. Like that doesn't make any sense. Or also a neural network, like that wouldn't make any sense. I'm not talking too much about neural network just because like neural networks are they're a little bit more technical and less people are using it. But large language models are the ones that most people use. And the problem with that is also it stems from like the user interface, because when you have a large language model, most people, like, they just use the interface of, like, you go to the website, whatever the website might be, and then you say things to the AI, and then you get a response, right? And it's like, it's cool, but if you do that, then there is no way you're going to be able to use other tools like Python code. You're not going to be able to insert Python code right here after this output of the large language model. It's never going to be, you're never going to be able to do that. Or you're never going to be able to use a neural network to do that either, right? Everything is within the app, within the tool that is like that. That is the reason why, if you really want to move fast and be able to have a proper AI workflow, what you need to get interested in is the APIs. So what's an API? Is just an application programming interface, meaning how do you use that within your own workflow the way you want it to use it, right? Basically using code, right? Programmatically, can you set it up so that you have, like, first the LLM, so LLM here, then code, then maybe LLM again, then maybe LLM again, right? Like multiple things and multiple AIs that are separate as well. Like this is one AI conversation, this is a different one, and that's a different one. Why does it matter? Well, because if you keep being in the same conversation, then the AI here is going to get confused because it keeps in memory the entire conversation, and then it's not able to do as good of a job at doing the task that is at stake just because the memory is too big, you know? So maybe all those problems will get solved down the line, but for now, that's not the case. And if you want to work, if you don't want to wait for AI to become like what you think, like the magic thing that it is, who know? I'm not saying that it's never going to get there. I'm not saying that it is there right now. It's not there right now. But I'm saying if you want to do this right now, and if you don't want to wait because who knows what can happen, well, this is the way to do it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to be part of my contacts, click on the link in the description. If I want to share something with you, I'll send you an email. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.